So it's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, so I'm back at it. I stripped down the LT1 that came out of the Trans Am that's allegedly blown up. I think I showed you last time when I was pulling the motor out, it had adjustable rockers on it. I suspected, based on the rockers looking like the GM Performance rockers, and remembering when I used to read about these cars, everyone ran the LT4 hot cams. I suspected as soon as I saw the rockers that it probably had an LT4 hot cam in it. And after checking out the cam, that's exactly what it is. It's an LT4 hot cam. So I'm going to swing all this stuff over into the good motor. I really couldn't find much wrong that was obvious with that motor that I took out. I pulled the heads off to make sure it didn't have a burn valve or anything, because usually when someone tells you a motor's blown up, usually it has a rod knock, because that's always obvious to people. Hey, this motor's blown up. It's not, oh, maybe it needs plugs or it's got a misfire. But when I drained the oil, there was hardly any glitter in it. So really, there was no glitter in it. So I was like, this doesn't look like it had a bearing issue. Maybe it did. I'm going to pull the oil pan off and take a look before I go too far into this other motor. I did pull the heads off because I needed to take the valve springs off to swing them onto this set of heads anyway, or this motor. I didn't have any springs. I probably do have springs that would work, but I didn't have anything to hold them up. So I just took the heads off and took the springs off, on my workbench. But anyway, so yeah, so, just getting ready here to swing all that stuff into the good motor. I'm going to check the rod bearings on this one. But, it's pretty cool. Came with I got this car for $1,200, which was like nothing. The car's nice underneath. It's a Southern car. Came with the extra good motor. And I bought it because I eventually planned to put a Turbo LS and Turbo 400 in it. But it was like, all right, in the meantime, I got a motor here to get it to run. And it turns out it's got an LT4 hot cam. It's got a custom converter in it. That converter, it's that pink converter I showed you in the last video. It's made by Precision Industries, who I wasn't familiar with, but it looks like Texas Speed Parts sells their converters. It's a custom converter. I called them up, gave them the serial number on the converter. They told me it's about 2,800 stall behind a stock stroke, 350 mild 350. So that's pretty cool. 373 gears. I bought a set of long tubes for it because the car had shorties on it. They're in my heap of pile over here. Had shorties on it. The shorties honestly were a huge pain in the ass to get the bolts off of, so I don't want to put it back together with that. Didn't really want to run those EPA is asshole things that go on there. I'm not going to say what it is. But anyway, so I picked up these long tubes cheap from a guy selling them locally. I got them for $100. I thought they were Steam Speed or Speed Steam or whatever. I think they're actually like $150 eBay headers, but they were already on a car, which tells me where I need to put bigger dents. So for $50 off, it's kind of worth it. Came with O2 sensors, but I mean, with these long tubes, with the LT4 hot cam and the right converter and the gears, this should be like a mid 12-second car when I put all this junk together. So yeah, I'm gonna drive it like that a little bit, see how it is. I have never run nitrous on one of my cars. I've never done a nitrous tune or really played with it. I think I'm gonna put a nitrous express, like their mainline EFI kit, and hit this with a 150 shot. See if I can get it to go 11s with like no money in it before I eventually swap it to an LS. But anyway, just wanted to give you guys an update. This is the kind of stuff I love. I love buying something cheap, and it turns out it's got all these goodies. It makes up for the times you get screwed and you overpay for stuff and it's junk. So yeah, it's awesome. A bunch of free stuff, right? If I was starting from scratch, I wouldn't bother modding the LT1 really. I'd just swap the LS in. But this is like, I don't know, $1,500 worth of crap that came with it, plus $1,000 converter and gears. So that's pretty cool. And it came with a 94 LT1 Camaro ECU. So I could swing that in, run the the OBD1 knock sensor, and get, you know, tuned with like cats or whatever, which is like $200 instead of buying the jet program for like $500. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if the ECU that's in here is already flashed. I suspect it is. The converter, they told me, was manufactured in like 2001, so I'm guessing all this stuff was in this car since 2001. But it seems like whoever put it together did it right. They geared it, got a nice custom converter. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm getting ready to put it back together here. Been distracted by some other stuff for the last couple weeks, but I'm back at it. I'll keep you updated.